Remember why we came together with the early church. It was to discuss the matter of the circumcision with the elders. You are not saved by the law, neither by circumcision. One chapter later, here's Paul with a circumcision. He's circumcising somebody. Look at Acts 16:1. In Galatians, Paul says, I did not circumcise Titus, but here we have Timothy. Both were students of Paul. Look at the book and 2 Timothy. Timothy was half Greek from the mother and half Jew from the father. And Titus was a part Greek too. But verses 16:3 says, Paul circumcised him. You'll then ask, was Paul trying to get back under the law and circumcised? No, of course not. The only reason Paul did that was so that Timothy could go with him on his journey. Everywhere Paul went, he went too. He went to the Jew synagogue, walk inside, start to preach about Jesus, and they kicked them out. And they went to the Gentiles. Now Timothy couldn't come in the Jewish synagogue if he wasn't circumcised. Do you understand now the point? If they were Greek if you were Greek and you wasn't circumcised, you were not allowed to go into the synagogue. You would have been stoned on the spot. This is what Paul did then. Your next question would then be, how does someone know if you are circumcised or not? Unless they drop their pants and look. Okay, that's the teaching, a Bible teaching, but so stay focused, please. Remember, the main question was Act 15. Do you have to be circumcised in order to get saved? Then in chapter 16, Paul has a good reason to circumcise Timothy. God told the children in former time in Israel that for them to be different from all the other nations around the world and the entire world, they have to be circumcised. That was a sign of talking. Anyway, you can tell the difference between a person that's circumcised or not. For history, remember in World War II, that's how Hitler knew who was circumcised or not. They had to drop their pants, and everyone who was circumcised, they put them in the ghetto or gas chambers and exterminated them and killed them. Because of that circumcision of the flesh, people can tell either or not you are a Jew. In the Old Testament, if they knew you, so in the village, so it is in the community, they didn't ask. But if a new person come in the new area or claim to be a Jew, they surely had to prove that they were circumcised in order to enter in the synagogue. And this is what Paul did. There's no confusion here because I knew the circumcision doesn't save. And he knew that, Timothy as well. But in order to have access to the synagogue, Timothy had to go through the process of the circumcision if he wanted to preach to the Jew. That's the only reason why it appears why Paul could have done that circumcision on Timothy. 1 Corinthians 9 shows that the in order to be circumcised, Timothy, to get him saved, as he knew Timothy was saved by faith, now he put on everything on Timothy and said to him, if he wants to preach to the Jew, he has to be circumcised, to go to the process of circumcision, so that he can come among them. And that's the logical reason why it happens. It's interesting that the Lord said, I'm paraphrasing here, so now you want to go, you want to be a part of me, so you have to go to take the circumcision. You have to go through that process in Act 43:15. My name is Brigitte Balmy. I hope you had fun with this lesson. I really appreciate to go through this process and to demonstrate as well that we are only saved by faith. No more work, no more bondage, only faith in Jesus Christ. Salvation is by faith, by grace, through faith. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.